Hi there. I see people are already joining me. That is wonderful. If you don't know who I am, my name is Rosalind Jukic, and I am a professional blogger, and I also lead a Bible study here in Croatia where I live. And the Bible study is Good Morning Girls. And every morning about this time, I jump on here and I share what my thoughts from what we've been reading. And so today we are reading 1 Peter 5 for the Good Morning Girls. And this is, of course, Peter is wrapping up this letter, because this is obviously the last chapter in the book. And so he is just giving final instructions to the Christians. And what really stood out to me was verse 8. And it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Resist him, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world." And then he wraps up the end of verse 10 by saying, "After you have suffered a while, perfect, established, strengthen and settle you." Or Jesus Christ will do these things for you. And what stood out to me was this, the picture of the lion. I love pictures. I love word pictures. Because I'm a writer, and so word pictures mean a lot to me, and I really love how Peter writes. I really do. I relate a lot to his writing, and he says, "Your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." What's really interesting to me with that is the fact that he used the picture of a roaring lion, and my father, who's a pastor, likes to take that illustration and put it into real life, saying, you have young lions and you have old lions. And the young lions stalk their prey and they hide, and then at the right moment they pounce and they kill their prey. But a roaring lion is an old lion who doesn't have any teeth left. He doesn't have his strength left. And so he doesn't have the strength to be able to pounce and to kill his prey like he once did. And so he relies upon his roar to paralyze his prey with fear. And this is what the enemy does. The enemy doesn't have any power over us. Jesus already defeated him. He already stripped him of his power over us, and any power that he might have is given to him by God. Any territory he has been given to him by God, and God has given him enough rope to hang himself, which is what we are going to see at the end when Jesus Christ returns to earth as a triumphant warrior. And so Peter is saying here, the devil walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. He's relying upon his roar to paralyze us with fear, because that's the only way he can defeat us. And then it says, resist him. Don't run. You don't run from a lion. You don't run from any wild beast, because they can catch up with you, and they can, running is the worst thing that you can do. We all know you don't run from a bear. You don't run from a lion. Don't run. You resist him. Don't run from the enemy. You resist him, and then you stand steadfast in the faith. Why do you stand steadfast in the faith? Because we know that the enemy is already defeated. We already know the enemy is already defeated. We can stand firm in our faith in Jesus Christ, that Jesus Christ's work on the cross already defeated the enemy. So there's nothing he can do to us. He is not going to destroy us. He can't destroy us. The word says that, if God be for us, who can be against us? He can't destroy us. And then we can take courage, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by all of our brotherhood in the world. And this is a look back at the previous chapters when Peter is saying, we are going to suffer for Christ's sake. We are going to suffer for his name, but we're blessed when we suffer. And like what he said in chapter 1, which we looked at in some previous scopes, he said, he said in verse chapter 1, verse 6, in this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while, if need be, you have been grieved by various trials, that the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold, that perishes, though it is tested by fire, it may be found to the praise and the glory of the revelation of Jesus Christ. And so these trials that we experience, everyone experiences them. All of our brothers and sisters in Christ experience them. But what it does is it purifies us. It purifies our faith, and we are blessed when we experience those trials. And that's what he addresses again in verse 10. But may the God of all grace, who called us to his eternal glory by Jesus Christ, after you have suffered a while, perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. So what will he do? He will perfect us, he will establish us, he will strengthen us, and he will settle us. What does it mean that he will settle us? It means he's going to take our faith and he's going to make it firm. Trials purify our faith, and they strengthen our faith, and they make our faith firm so we cannot be shaken. And so this is what we have looked at in 1 Peter. The book of 1 Peter is a book obviously to the church, to Christians, and he addresses new Christians, saying, you need to work on your inner character. This is, you just received Jesus Christ. Desire the milk of the word, and work on your character, work on the inner, on your inward man in your heart. He addresses the mature Christians by saying you need to throw off everything in your mind that is going to hold you back from running this race with Jesus Christ. He addresses the women, saying be submissive to your husbands, to your own husbands, which I think, again, as I addressed in a previous scope, I believe that is critical, saying you need to be submissive to your own husbands. And if you have an unbelieving husband, don't nag them, but just show them through your conduct of a meek and quiet spirit and of a submissive spirit, the testimony of Jesus Christ. And then he talked again in chapter 4, he talks about the fact that we suffer for Christ. It is not a shame. It is not something that we need to be surprised by. Oh, okay, go ahead. This is real life happening at my house right now. That we do not need to be surprised by it, that we don't need to be discouraged by it. That sufferings happen, and we are blessed when we are persecuted for Christ's sake. And so this is a wrap-up of the book of 1 Peter, and next week, starting on Monday, I will be back here again in the mornings, and we will be looking at 2 Peter and 2 Peter and 1 John. So I hope that you will join me. And next week, the Periscopes will probably be happening a little bit earlier in the morning. So I'm going to go. Okay, just a minute. Just a moment. So I'm going to go and give my son some attention. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. And if you are watching this on YouTube or on my blog, then you will know that that this has been done on Periscope. This is my son. Can you say hi? Say hi. This is my son. And this was recorded on Periscope. So I will see you again this time on Monday.